Happy Friday everybody, I'm Libby, this is Julian, we are BoxedMeeples. You can find us right here on YouTube and also follow us on Twitter and Instagram too. This week we are talking about games that have interesting scoring mechanisms or ways to score that we find to be great.
I really enjoy the methods you can score in the Sycthe games, both Sycthe and mine on a Sycthe, I thought I'd mention it too. I love how they have a score objectives at the top, and if you play some of the expansions you can even modify those scoring objectives to the individual plays you like to play. But you score those as you play in chunks, and the first one to get to 6 wins, but it doesn't really matter which of the options you choose from, which means it's harder to predict the ways your opponents are aiming to win the game. In certain situations you can even have one really successful round where you're laying down 3 different score achievements, swoop in there and steal the game from under the noses of everyone else's and they didn't see it coming. I think it's really clever how different approaches and play styles mean different ways to score those achievements at the top. So you can win a game without ever starting a fight in this game. You can win a game just by exploring and being friendly and, fostering good relations. Sure. I never do that. If there's 2 war objectives, I'm going to go for those 2 combat achievements. And I just love those brilliant turns where you're just like, boom, I've done that. Oh, and I've done that, boom. And I've also done that, and that's my 6, and this game ends immediately. Doesn't matter how good your next turn's going to be, once someone slaps down that 6th achievement, it's ended. Everyone's kicking you under the table going, I was just about to win. And what's so great about this is you can always track how far away you're winning. Every time we've played this, it's always been a case of, I was just about to win, or I was a turn away from winning. That's one of the reasons I love Sycthe so much.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I really liked one of our recent games is because you're so naturally combative in it. I ended up with an encounter which meant that I could force you not to be able to battle or enter a hex that I was in. And so by manoeuvring around you quite delicately, I basically trapped you in the corner and forced you into a whole different type of gameplay than you were used to. Yep. And it really set you off kilter for a while, which was a lot of fun for me.
I couldn't get across the river. I was boxed in, unable to do anything but be friendly and nice.
My pick this week is also a Stonemaier game. I'm going with Wingspan, but basically I enjoy the games where you don't necessarily, you might track the points around the edge, but they don't necessarily tell you who's going to be the end winner immediately. It's ones where it's sort of about secret scoring and it all sort of is revealed at the end and it sort of adds on. And I only realised with this one recently from playing it on BGA, because we played a game together and I saw that our scores were at the top throughout and I thought, oh, hold on a minute, oh, he's ahead of me. And I've not normally had that feeling in this game, because although obviously you could examine your opponent's board if you were so inclined, I tend to just give you a bit of a glance and occasionally notice if there's a bird with 9 feather points, and that's about your lot. I'll notice where you've placed your eggs delicately if they are going to meet an objective or not. Yeah. But in terms of your end game scoring, I'll have no clue. And I really like that, especially, in this game. There'll probably be games that I wouldn't, but and games like Dwellings of Eldervale, where you've got to put the 6 houses, dwellings, on your little meeples to win, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be the winner, because the points are depending on how far you've gone up on different tracks and different elements. There's a lot of other things going on. So those kind of games where it all sort of comes together at the end and all of a sudden it's a bit of a surprise. Oh wow, didn't realise you had that and that and that going on. Yeah. That's what I really love. Yeah, like that surprise.
Big reveal.
Yeah.
But what games do you like the scoring mechanisms in? Do let us know in the comments below. And if you're interested in getting these games, the first place you should obviously head to is your friendly local game store. But if you're shopping online, have a look at Geekyzone, because they've got some fantastic prices on some of these games. And if you enter the discount code you see in the description, you'll save a little bit more.